So good evening. Am I muted? No, I'm not. Good evening, everybody. It's lovely to see you. Tonight we are, or this morning in Alaska, we are also sharing the space with the group, a part of the group in Alaska. I think another part of them is sitting live there in the room where Bart is teaching a class. Yes, Sarah Lynn. With the beautiful Alaskan people on the subject of death. Oh my God, there's a crowd. Oh dear. Now I'm shy. Very nice. Yay. Okay. So good evening. Uh, uh, Good evening also to Alaska. The Alaskan friends will be leaving us after the guided meditation to start their thing, their day. It's good morning to Alaska. And good whatever, good to everybody else. Enough of that. So the non-dual life in us greets the non-dual life in you. It's such a beautiful subject. Russell Williams, one of our teachers, used to say, now there is a difference, perhaps, between life and consciousness. Now there's a point to ponder. And he would never answer it. He would never tell us what he means, but he would come back to it, and each time would give it back as a point to ponder. Ponder this, ponder this. And without coming down to definitions, I think he was really onto something, or he is really onto something. Because vibrationally, there is a difference between this incredible life force, this aliveness, this primal organizing, enveloping, expressing and receiving aspect of life. And that aspect of life, which is consciousness, it is a point to ponder in our own way. So often when we contemplate life, what we come to is some kind of very depressed reality check where we find ourselves saying, well, that's life, or in real life, or if this is what life is like, then screw it. It becomes something of a kind of judgment or a distancing. We can have a tricky relationship with life. And often, because we are physically alive now in human form, our tricky relationship with life is reflected with our awkward relationship with being physically alive, with our lifetime. Being here. And often it can feel that it's really not easy to be here. Not really to be here. To be here from the core of ourselves. And to be here means partly to allow ourselves to come to life. All of it. And sure, we'd like some bits of ourselves to come to life, the blissful bit, the wise bit, the socially acceptable bit. But what about our demons? Are they allowed to come to life? Will others allow them to come to life? Shouldn't they be not alive? Meaning dead? Split off? Banished? At the very least ignored? Unnurtured? Not to water the demons? It's tricky. It's problematic. It's not easy being alive. And when we are this life, what this can lead to is a feeling of parts of ourselves shouldn't come to life. a distrust, a fear. And maybe that's the easiest way to talk about it, a kind of fear resonating with life. And maybe fear in its purest sense is a kind of sensitivity, a blissful awakeness, like in a newborn baby. A nakedness. But soon enough, this fear becomes a kind of dread. It's got danger in it. It's got a threat in it. It's as if life is either a punishment itself, or it's bringing the inevitable threat of having our life ended, death. It comes with the vibration of dread. It's sneaky how it shows up, how we pass it on, how we receive it. Now, as children, what we learn is that if something's used to punish us, then that thing which is used to punish us is a bad thing. So when dad says to the child, if you don't behave, I'll send you to your mother, it's not so great for the mother. She's become a punishment. If in a schoolroom, a kid is told, if you don't behave, I'll send you home, it's confusing because most kids would rather be at home. But suddenly it's like a punishment to be sent home. So what's that about? When at home, the kid is said, if you're going to show anger or be too wild or say truthful things at the wrong time, I'll send you to your room to be alone. Then being alone is a punishment. And the ultimate punishment, it seems, that goes between us is the punishment of death, the death sentence. You're killing me, I'm killing you, I'll kill you. God will kill you. What do we do to people who are really, 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 really rascals? We kill them. We murder the murderers. The ultimate punishment, death. And it's there, our kids sit on their little bums in front of the TV watching Power Rangers and Batman and all of this stuff. And, whoever gets killed, whoever gets deaded, put to death, they're the ultimate loser. This must never, never happen. And it must never happen to the hero in the story. Death is bad news. It's a total loss, a total failure. And death has been made such a god in terms of how it controls our fear, our investments, our relationships. My grandfather told me, don't marry somebody who's 10 years older than you, he'll die on you. Because his father died. His father was 20 years older than his mom. But it was like a learned legacy. Pass it on to the grandchildren. Do not die, do not marry an older husband. You'll be left totally alone and all of the family will go to hell. Death. The unbearable. It's coded, it's associated. So when we say death, it's not like, yay, it's like, oh. And what's put in there in that bucket called death is all the horrific things which we never want to feel. Now, we're all been studying this stuff for a while, so we're not so, caught up in it. But if we look into how it's generally perceived, death is seen as the opposite of life. It's life, alive or dead. That's the pair. When you are killed, your life is over. Unless you're some kind of religious freak or some woo-woo maniac who thinks that there's life after death, and then, cuckoo, you're fantasizing. But basically, the real life is that there is life and there is death, and death is the end of life. That's it. Complete. It's a war of opposites. The awful thing about this particular belief system, which assumes that all of life ends the moment you die. Sorry, it's really funny from one point of view. It's like, I'm dead, so all of life is over. That's the end of life for me. But where am I? I died. So where's the end of life? It's irrelevant. Life is everywhere. But one of the effects of this belief that it's life versus death is that we all get incredibly depressed because we all know, we really know, we don't know much, but one thing we know for sure, that we will die. We know it. It's one of the few things we can really trust. In a blip. From one point of view, we're all dead here now. We're all already dead. Because there is no future. There's a whole dimension there. So whatever this punishing, horrific thing which has been used to control us and to threaten us and to make us afraid, to groom us with dread, whatever this thing is, it's coming anyway, no matter how well we behave. No matter how good we are, no matter how kind, no matter how enlightened, it's coming anyway. And it's coming at us, not from the known areas. Because the thing about the monsters that we don't want to own, that we throw into the death bucket, is that we forget about them. So it's the unknown fears which are threatening us under this label of death. And the one thing that death needs in order to have us in its grip, this astral thing, this emotional bucket, this horror, this dread, the one thing it needs is for us to be alive. So now, if we believe it's life and then death, how must we look at life? Life itself is like a death cult. It's like it's only leading to one thing. It's asking for trouble. It's a nightmare to be alive because we will die. To be born is to die. So we wait. We're born. We suss it out. We say, okay, I get what's going on here. So, I'm not going to invest. This is doomed. I just wait it out. I hold back. I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to attach. I'll have an attachment disorder. I'm not going to embody. I'm not going to really experience. Because then it gets me in the end anyway. So screw it. I don't agree. I don't agree to be alive. Let's just play games, distractions, movies, occupy ourselves, yada, yada, yada. Don't mention death, especially if you're English. Never, never, never mention death because it might make it happen sooner rather than later. Let's just pretend it's not happening, that we're not in a wilderness where we don't know where we are, where we're going, what's happening next, or what to do with this dread and this fear. This dread and this fear, which is suddenly a dread and a fear about being alive itself. Because there's a feeling that the more we come into the body, open the senses, unrestrictedly to every little corner of the body, the more we will suffer. And the more we will suffer in death. And we get caught somewhere in the middle, in this wilderness, in a state of denial. And maybe it's not us that started this. Maybe this has been going on for generations. Don't arrive, don't arrive, don't be here. Don't feel your feet touching the ground. Not until you've checked out that everything's really safe and you have a guaranteed positive experience. Especially don't feel your feet touch the ground when you feel something nasty or dreadful or dangerous in the air. Don't embody. Don't embody because the body dies. It's embodying a corpse. Don't go there. We've seen it. We know. It doesn't last. You can see how it builds up, the fear, the dread, the fear, all laden on death. So this thing, this beast, which we have created called death, that we gave life to, in trying not to give life to stuff, we gave life to some kind of monster. Even if we are very good at meditating and we've had this experience of disembodied, pure peace, beyond belief, stillness, knowing that it's really okay. And we come to those moments where you say, I'm not afraid of death anymore. Even then, it doesn't help because we've still got this astral fucker that we have to deal with. It's still there. The dread, the fear, the threat, the conditioning, the way the nerve system is made to respond. Still, when we watch that Amityville horror Netflix movie, we are hooked on it. Maybe if we watch it. It still gets us, the fear and the dread and the threat and the extermination and the ceasing to be and the ceasing to exist and the soul murder. It still gets us. It's like it's living with a life of itself, even though we know from another place, we know what we know and what we've experienced, which is that there's really nothing to fear. So it's tricky. And on the other side of this, death astral thing, we have the birth astral thing. A whole theology that says you're here as a punishment. You were born as a punishment. Forget about dying. You didn't go towards the light, you walked to the side and whoa, you had an egoic thought and that's it. You went down again, or your karma was so bad it pulled you back. You didn't get it yet. You didn't meditate enough, you weren't enlightened enough, and so you're born again, and you're born again in a really horrible place, which means that you must have done some pretty awful stuff in the past. So it's all punishment, 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 punishment. Or we have the Christian mythology, which is that we're all screwed anyway because of original sin. That woman ate the apple. Of course, it was the woman. And so we're all screwed. We're all being punished for eternity from then on. Life is a punishment. It's a death sentence. You shall toil and you shall die. So birth isn't so great either. Russell Williams used to say that people talk so much about death and the fear of dying, but for him, it seems the greater fear is the fear of being born again. To be born again into samsara, into the density, into the endless ocean of suffering, into the ignorance, into the difficulty communicating, of finding each other, to feel lost again, to feel forsaken again, to suffer it all again, even when there's not yet World War III happening. So the beautiful thing about life is that life is coming from another dimension beyond this like physical dimension of beginning, middle, end of a physical lifetime. It's got a different frequency, and it's got a different frequency, which is birth, death, birth, death, birth, death, birth, death, much, 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 much faster than even like between the first sip of your coffee and the last sip of your coffee. You've been born and died 100,000 times. It's a much, much faster frequency. It doesn't wait to ask us what we think about it, or to dump our suffering in it, or to project into it, or to dictate who should live and who should die, Mengele style. It doesn't wait for that. It's taka, 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 taka. It's a very fast frequency of movement, of change, aliveness. It's so potent, it's so central, it's so much part of true nature. It's got the same formula, like the very slowed down physical life. We are born and we say to our parents at a certain stage, where do babies come from? And our babies cringe because our parents cringe because they think they're going to have the sex talk when actually the child is asking, where did I come from? Is there life before birth? Where did I come from? How could I have not existed? Doesn't check out. I've always existed. Where do babies come from? It's not a sex talk at all. Where did you come from? Little flame. Where did each of you come from? Beyond the story, beyond imagination, beyond philosophy. Where did the world come from that has suddenly appeared in your perception, in your view? Maybe you never moved. But children ask these questions. A few years later, they say, Mummy, what's death? Again, oh no, from sex to death. And now I have to explain to them, but you'll only die when you're very, 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 very old. But what about Uncle John? Sometimes there's an accident. All the time the kid's getting this feeling, this is taboo stuff, taboo stuff, taboo stuff. And what happens to the aliveness? What happens to the aliveness as we grow into these belief systems, which says that we can lose our lives at any moment in the future. And we can lose each other at any moment. Death can strike among us. We can lose any one of us. And what a suffering that is, that loss in the future. So with every fear, whether it's the fear of birth or the fear of death or the fear of each other or the fear of loss, it's always worthwhile to move towards it and not away from it, because a fear or an experience that we feel is bigger than us, that can take us over, that can control us, that can possess us, is an area of experience waiting for self-realization, waiting for us to turn towards it and to realize that it is just an experience. It's just a series of sensations. It's not bigger than we are as the source of the whole universe, the source of consciousness, the source of life. It's not bigger than life itself. The experience of death, which is an experience, or the experience of birth, which is an experience, is not bigger than the life which vitalizes the experience. It's not bigger than the life that we are. Now, this is something which we only come to when we really move towards it. So if we move towards death and we look over the precipice, not even of our own physical suffering and extinction, but our spiritual extinction, because it's associated. And we look into the possibility that we might cease to exist. We gaze into that void, not running anymore from the void, from the rupture, from the belief of anything being bigger than we are, but moving towards it as an experience, looking into over the abyss, into non-existence, that vacuum of death. And we stay present with it. And we breathe. What can happen at a certain moment is it begins to break down in time as a series of little awakenings. Awakening of life, conscious awakenings. Little by little, we find that something is coming more and more to life, not less and less to life. if we turn to our beloved and we realize that they too will die, we will lose them. They're not exempt. This is not forever. And we really, really take them in as they are now, in their mortality. Something so precious begins to shine. Something so essential comes online. Something so real from the deeper dimension of what this is all about begins to shine through. Especially, unfortunately, it's in these areas of suffering, the fear, or areas of fear, areas that have become associated with dread or habitually denied or habitually ignored, areas that we've decided are nothing. We decide. These areas are the areas which are most controlling us, which are most interfering with our natural well-being, which are most disturbing the peace which we are made to be, which we are made of. The most confusing, most compelling. And why are they compelling? Why is death also extremely compelling? If you look at the media, Google News, it's death, 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 death. That's because it's clickbait. It's not worth anything if it hasn't got a bit of death in it, or even a lot of death in it. So it's compelling. And why is it compelling? Because it's saying, come here, come here, come here. From the intelligence of the universe, it's saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. I need you to realize what I am and what I'm not. I am not the end of the one that's looking. I am not the end of life. I'm an experience that moves through you. You never, ever caught and decided on by an experience. You're the one that's able to experience. Self-realization. Self-realization is like very, very deep acceptance of what there is and what there's not. So what there is a very real experience of growing older, of suffering, of breaking down, a whole journey, maybe, of a death process. But it's an experience. Meaning, the more we can let it ride, let it flow as an experience, the more we are free to be alive unconditionally as the one which is able to experience anything at all. Now, this one is not nothing. It's not the end of life. It's not a dead end point. Get it? Dead end. This one is itself wanting to open up and spill out all of those qualities of true nature which were not allowed to be here for fear of life in the physical dimension, for fear of the pain which is here, for fear of fear, for dread of dread. All of that love that wants to flow and expand to the horizons, all of that uninterrupted peace, that unbothered bliss, that permission to be whole, boundless, again, like we always were. The falling away of the limitations of the mind, the falling away of the old guilt contractions and configurations and patterns and judgments. Now we know that, true nature exists in the here and now. Everything is existing in the here and now. The future's in the here and now. The past is in the here and now. You have always been here now. And death, the astral version, meaning the kind of horror movie version, the natural version, the physical version, it's all here now too. It's just here. We just need to turn around. We don't need to wait. We don't need to put it off. We don't need to rehearse. Just turn around, allow it. Let it enliven you. Let it be part of you. Let it teach you. Okay, I have to stop. So we take 5 minutes and then the beloved in the Northern Hemisphere will give a guided meditation.
So, welcome back, everybody. If you could find a relaxed position, when you found a relaxed position, I would like you to connect with your physical body. And where your physical body is supported by the chair, the couch, the mattress, the floor. And maybe it's possible just to relax the body into that support. And then I'd like you to connect with all the sensations which are there in and around the body. What do you experience in and around the body? This can be comfortable or discomfortable. It doesn't matter. Just try to be conscious of all the sensations which are there. And maybe it's possible to experience the sense of life in these sensations. And maybe it's possible just to allow this sense of life to take any form it wants to take right now. And when we are connecting with the sense of life, does this feel familiar? And maybe it's possible to regress back a year or a couple of years, and regressing back a year or a couple of years. Is this sense of life there as well? And did the sense of life change? Was it different in the past? And if we regress a little bit further back, let's say 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, how was the sense of life then? And how did we experience life then? Is there any change? And if we move a little bit into the future, say a week, can we connect with the sense of life in a week from now? And how would we experience the sense of life in a week? or maybe in 2 weeks. In a month from now. I'd like you to reconnect again with the physical body. And where the body is supported by the chair, the couch, the mattress, the floor. And just allow yourself to relax even deeper into this support. And then I'd like you to connect again with the sense of life right here, right now. And just take time to deeply experience liveliness, the sense of life. And then I'd like you to ask yourself, to investigate, to ponder. What is experiencing this sense of life? What is the one who is experiencing the sense of life? like you to focus on the one who is experiencing the sense of life. And then I'd like you to regress back maybe a week or a couple of weeks, a month, and connect with the one who was able to experience the sense of life then. Does this one change? And when we regress a couple of years back, still in connection with the one who's able to experience with that what was able to experience. Did that one change? And then I'd like you to move back to the here and now, still in connection with the one who is able to experience. And maybe it is possible to just relax, to be in that what is able to experience. Without focusing on any experience, just being that what is able to experience. I like you to kind of imagine that you move into the future, 10 years in the future, connected with that what is able to experience. And I'd like you to move back to the here and now, still in connection with that what is able to experience. That what is able to experience. Is there a beginning? Is there a beginning to that what is able to experience? You slowly move back in time and try to find the beginning of that what is able to experience. And then I'd like you to focus in the future. And maybe it's possible to focus if there is an end to that what is able to experience. Maybe if we kind of focus on the future or focus on the past, in that what is able to experience, we get a sense of eternity. And if we just allow ourselves to relax into this sense of eternity, and maybe it is possible to sense the aliveness or life into the sense of eternity. Okay, it's time to say goodbye to the people on the live stream, and I'm also saying goodbye. We are going on with the course here in Alaska. So have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week, all of you, and hope to see you all back next week. Bye.
And the rest of you are the ones on the Zoom room. I'm staying so we can have some sharing and the peace meditation.